A very good morning to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today. I would like to welcome all of you. And of course, we are hoping more counselors to join in. First of all, I'd like to thank the City School for giving us this wonderful opportunity of interacting with our international representatives from out of 8. We have 7 universities presenting today. Just to give you a brief introduction, Innovative Research Universities is a group of 8 Australian universities, and we have been present in Pakistan for more than 4 years now. It's been a pleasure working with all sorts of stakeholders. We are very keen to interact with schools, universities, and any other partners who are interested to collaborate and develop partnership opportunities with us. First of all, I would like to introduce that you already have a list of speakers who will be presenting today, and we look forward to 15 to 20 minute session for each presenter. Mr. Girish Iyer is here with us for Charles Darwin University. I would also like to mention that my colleague who looks after the media and communication for IRU, Ms. Bethany Keats, she's also with us today. So thank you so much. And I'd also like to thank Ms. Kanza and Rabia from City School for giving us this opportunity and, helping us to make this happen. So just before we start, if you have any questions, please feel free to type in. We will have the Q&A question session after each speaker has done with his or her session. So the plan is that we'll give each speaker 15 minutes to present about the university, and then we'll have 5 minutes to do the question answers. If you can recall the email that I've sent, all the speakers have been mentioned in that email, so you already have their email addresses. And of course, if you want to reconnect with them directly, after this session, please feel free to do that. So welcome everybody. We have more participants joining in, and I think we will wait for another 1 minute before I give the mic over to Girish. So any questions, any comments? Okay, so I think Kanza is also here, and I think we should start with the introductions of Girish, and then of course he can start with the session. So Girish, the mic is over to you. I'll unmute myself and let me know if you need any help. And please check if you can share your screen easily. Thank you.
I am the regional manager for Charles Darwin University. Thank you so much for joining today's session. I'm glad that you all could join in. It's early in the morning in Pakistan. So thank you very much. It's afternoon in Darwin, and I'm basically based out of Darwin in Northern Territory, Australia. So I'll run through a quick presentation about CDU, Darwin as well, just so you get a bit of an idea about where the place is and what the university is all about. We have 15 minutes time, so I won't be able to cover a lot, but I'll try and cover the maximum that I can. So allow me to share my screen with you, and I should be able to start that pretty soon. Give me 1 second.
Hi Girish, thank you so much for starting.
Okay.
Just an input, if you can please speak a little louder.
So this is Charles Darwin University. Once again, welcome and thank you for joining today's session. Charles Darwin University is located in the Northern Territory, which is the northern part of Australia. It is the first city of Australia when you enter Australia from any of the overseas locations. So let me that's my contact details. So my name is Girish Iyer, and I'm the regional marketing manager for the university. That is my email ID and my mobile number. You can also WhatsApp me on my mobile number if you need any information from my end as well. So let's begin the session by talking about Darwin. So just to give you an idea where exactly Darwin is located, you have the map of Australia, And as I said, we are located on the top northern part of Australia. Darwin is the capital city of Northern Territory, which is the state. And we have multiple campuses across Australia. In Darwin, we have about 3 campuses. So the Casuarina campus is the main campus of the university. Waterfront campus is our city campus, where we primarily run our business programs. And the Palmerston campus is our vocational education campus, where we run most of our vocational courses. We also have a campus in Sydney, where we run our nursing and IT courses from Sydney campus, and the Alice Spring campus, which is again another big campus of the university, where we run our vocational education courses as well. Darwin. So about Darwin, Darwin is a very small place as compared to bigger places like Sydney, Melbourne, or Brisbane. The population of Darwin is about 160,000 people. And but one of the important aspects of staying in Darwin is that you will find people from different nationalities and different ethnic groups. Because it is located very, very close to Asia. So Bali, Indonesia is only 2 hours, Singapore is only 4 hours, Malaysia is only 4 hours, and so are the rest of the other subcontinent countries like India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka as well are at a very close distance. That's why you will find people living, studying, and staying in Darwin from all these different nationalities. Northern Territory is also known as Australia's gateway to Asia because of its location, which is very, very close to the Asian region. Why Northern Territory? So Northern Territory obviously is one of the growing economies in Australia. In the last 15 years, the economy has grown quite a lot. There are a lot of big multinational and big multi-million-dollar projects that are running across Northern Territory. One of the biggest project is the LNG project that is about $34 billion project that is running in Northern Territory. So there are various sectors, there are various industries that are located in Northern Territory, and it is one of the top 3 business export destination as well in terms of close connectivity with Japan, China, and Korea. There is tremendous amount of opportunity in Northern Territory because of these growing businesses, because of these growing multinational companies establishing their operations in Northern Territory. There is a huge demand for skilled people in Northern Territory as well. Some of the key sectors in Darwin, I'm not going to go through all of them in detail, but just to give you an idea, agribusiness, so cattle farming, fishery, aquaculture, horticulture is one of the growing businesses and industries in Darwin as such. International education, Charles Darwin University is the only university in Northern Territory, and that makes it as a very unique educational experience for international students. Minerals, oil and gas, as I mentioned, is one of the biggest growing industries. Renewable energy, space. If you probably didn't know, have an idea, the Australian Space Agency is actually located in Northern Territory as well, and then they plan to employ close to about 30,000 people by 2030. So you can imagine the number of job opportunities that are available in that particular industry and sector. So this is one of the LNG project that is being set up in Northern Territory, which I mentioned about earlier, was about $34 billion. And that is one of the biggest growing industries in Northern Territory. From a CDU's perspective, some of the achievements of CDU that can be highlighted here. Obviously, that we rank number 2 in graduate employment and graduate salary outcome for all our students. We rank number 1 in postgraduate employment outcome for our international students. So the ranking of the university in terms of employment is number 1 and number 2 in Australia as compared to the other Australian universities as well. Being the only university in Northern Territory, we offer courses across multiple ranges and different study areas. I'll talk about that in a minute. But we also rank in top 100 in the Asia specific ranking as well, which is as per Good University Guides, the Time Higher Education Guides ranking. So these are some of the excellent rankings ranking that we have that proves that the quality of education that is delivered at Charles Darwin University is very unique and is also at a very high quality as well. That's why our graduates get a high paying job in the industry across multiple areas. So these are the study areas where we offer courses right from diploma level or certificate level to PhD level as well. And students can do multiple specializations under each of these areas. So in business and accounting, we have professional accounting, we have MBA programs which have specialization in different areas. So that is an option that the students can do. We have Bachelor of Digital Enterprise, we have Bachelor of Business, which has a number of specializations in marketing, supply chain management as well, which the students can pick. Those are some of the popular courses for international students from Pakistan. Engineering is another area where a lot of students from Pakistan actually take engineering courses at both bachelor's and master's level. And we have a number of specializations under that as well. So, and I'll talk about that in a minute. IT, information technology, is also very, very popular among international students. We offer cybersecurity, we offer data science programs, which are very popular as well, and you get a lot of good opportunities in that space in Northern Territory. In health areas, we have amazing courses like nursing, medical laboratory science, biomedical sciences, and some other courses, other areas like nutrition, dietetics. So these are some excellent specializations that we offer for our international students. And there are many other specializations under different study areas that are offered at the university. So let me go through, I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I'll touch base on the important ones. So this is the main campus of the university. So Casuarina campus is located in Darwin. The campus is built across 56 hectares of land. So you can see how big the campus is, and most of the courses are offered from our main campus. That is the Casuarina campus of the university. It has all the facilities that the international students would like to have in a campus environment, and we do offer those facilities to international students for free. They don't pay for any of those facilities as such. So talking about job prospectus for business students who are primarily wanting to study marketing courses, or they are wanting to do an MBA program with a specialization in entrepreneurship or innovation or public health or any other specialization. These are a kind of profile that the student would end up getting into once they graduate from the university, depending upon their course and depending upon their experiences. So this is just to give you an overview of the business students, what different job prospects that they can get into, and what would be the weekly pay, what will be the future growth, and what is the skill level that is required in the industry for these kind of professionals. So you have advertising and marketing professionals, you have financial investment advisors and managers, you have accountants, you have management analysts, organizational analysts. So these are some of the job prospects that the international students can get into, and which is one of the reasons the ranking of the university for graduate employment and graduate outcome is very high in the industry and in Northern Territory as well. Some of the other areas where the business students can get into a job, they become cafe and restaurant managers, they become business analysts, and we offer programs like Bachelor of Digital Enterprise, which is a combination of marketing, management, and technology. So that is an excellent program to get into. And we also have the supply chain management program as well at undergraduate level. So students can get into those programs as well. And there are opportunities not just in Northern Territory, but the rest of the Australian market as well. And this information is taken from a government website. So the source of the website is just listed at the bottom. So if you want, you can also type in the profile that you would like to get into, and it will give you the information about the weekly pay and the future growth of that particular position and that particular profile in Australia. So coming on to engineers, we offer 3 different specializations for our engineers, at both at bachelor's as well as at master's level. So we have mechanical engineers specialization, we have electrical and electronics engineering specialization, and we also offer the the specializations in electrical and electronics engineering as well, which is one of the specializations we offer. We used to offer chemical engineering, but we no longer offer that option for international students. So civil and structural engineering is another specialization that we offer to all international students, both at bachelor's and master's level. And these are some of the job profiles that the students do end up getting into after they graduate from the university, whether it is a civil engineering professional or a mechanical engineering professional or an electrical engineering professional. These are the different pay levels, and these are the different growth in that particular sector or in that particular profile that the student can get into. Most of the postgraduate courses that we offer at the university, including engineering, they have internship at the end of the final semester. The internship is unpaid. The university and the college will help you find the internship, and the student can basically do minimum 300 hours of work integrated learning at any of those specialized divisions that they are looking to get into. So just to give you an idea about once you study at the university, what are the different job profiles as an international student you can get into on a post-study work rights. Because Charles Darwin University is located in regional Australia, international students get up to 4 years of post-study work rights after they graduate from the university. So that's one of the biggest advantage for international students to come study and then work in Northern Territory as well. IT courses are again very popular among international students. We offer bachelors of computer science, we offer bachelors of information technology, and they cover wide area of specializations in cybersecurity, data science, risk analysis, business analyst, and all the other areas that are related to programming and networking management. We also have a master's courses. We have masters in cybersecurity. We have masters in data science and information systems, and those courses are also again focused around the job requirements that is required in Northern Territory as well. So some of the students who graduate from these courses do end up getting into different profiles as IT and system analyst or business analyst. They get into as database administrator or security analyst, cybersecurity analyst, and the support engineers or test engineers as well. So these are some of the profiles that the student can get into after they graduate with an IT degree from Charles Darwin University. So what I'm trying to portray across is that the job opportunity that the student gets, not just Northern Territory, but the rest of the Australian market, once they graduate from the university is actually very good. If you look at the future growth of each of these profiles is also strong or very strong. The weekly pay is also very high. So that gives you overall the return on investment that you do in terms of studying for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years in your whether you're doing an undergraduate degree or a postgraduate degree at the university. So it'll give you a good understanding of where do you get at the end of your studies.
Hello everyone, my name's Melissa Willoughby and I'm from Flinders University in Adelaide, South Australia. I'm just going to share my screen. So as I said, my name's Melissa Willoughby and I'm from Flinders University in Adelaide, South Australia. So I'll tell you a little bit about the City of Adelaide and then I'll go into some more information around Flinders University. I always start with a little bit of information around Adelaide because Adelaide is a lot less known than some of the big cities in Australia like Sydney and Melbourne and even Brisbane. But even though it's one of the smaller cities, it is an amazing city to study in my opinion, really the best city to study in Australia. Of course, I'm going to say that because I'm a little bit biased, but I do honestly believe it as well. So Adelaide is the capital city of South Australia. And South Australia has about 1.67 million people. So it is quite a smaller city, but it's got everything that you need in a city to study in. So it's very affordable, it's very clean, it's very safe. It's called the Festival City. There's lots of events and activities and festivals throughout the year. So it really, and it's much more affordable than some of the larger cities. So it really is a great city for students to study in. That's just worth noting as well. So for students that come to study in Australia, they study at undergraduate or postgraduate, they are eligible for post-study work rights visa. And if they study in South Australia, they do get an additional year, so that regional city benefit. So for postgraduate students, that does mean it is basically now 3+1, and for undergraduate it is a 2+1. So an additional year on top of what the normal post-study work requirements for studying in South Australia as a regional city. So it's just an extra added bonus. So I'll move forward to some information about Flinders itself. So Flinders University was established in 1966, and we have approximately 26,000. Of that, about 5,106 students from over 90 countries around the world. So approximately 20% of our student population is international students, which I think is a really good mix. So in a classroom environment, there'll be students from all over the world, and obviously as well as Australian domestic students as well. So it really is a really lovely learning environment. Our campus that you can see in that picture in the background, it's very much like that US style university where it's a full campus experience. So it's about 20 minutes out of the CBD, and everything that you need is on campus. So students come to campus and then they stay on campus. So it's got a really great learning environment. We teach in over 500 programs at undergraduate, postgraduate and research level. And we're #1 in South Australia for overall student experience, teaching quality, learning engagement and student support. And we have had the South Australian International Student of the Year many years running, including last year. And hopefully we'll have that again this year. So that's sort of reflective of, I guess, the students that we attract as well as the experience that they have. So you can see a bit of an aerial view of the campus here. So it's over 40 hectares, it's quite large. We do have buses, free buses that take students where they need to go on campus, so they don't need to walk all of it. But it's basically got everything that you would need on campus. And yeah, as I said before, it's in a very convenient location, 20 minutes from the CBD. There's a train to take students from the CBD directly within 20 minutes. There's also obviously public transport buses from all other locations as well. It's about 11 minutes to the beach, 7 minutes to a really large shopping complex. So it's in a really great location, and about 25 minutes to the airport, international airport as well. So these are our 3 campuses. Bedford Park is the main campus where I'm located, and the majority of our programs are taught. It's a big green, beautiful campus with a big lake in the middle of it. As you see from those chairs, overlooks the ocean. It's on top of a hill. And then we have our Tonsley campus, which is about 5 minutes from the main campus. And that's our state-of-the-art tech campus. So it is where we teach IT, engineering, all of our robotics programs. Our New Ventures Institute is in there. So all of our innovation entrepreneurship, incredible facilities that we have on the Tonsley campus. It was built about 5 years ago. So just state-of-the-art, incredible facilities for students who are doing technology and engineering programs. And then Victoria Square is our city campus, where we teach our business and government programs. So at our Bedford Park campus, our main campus, we do have a student accommodation, either in the more dormitory style, have your own room, plus all, the meals are catered and things like that, or in the more independent Deirdre Jordan Village, where you would share an apartment with maybe 2 or 3 other students, and do your own cooking and things like that. So we're the only university in South Australia where you can live on campus. So it's really good for those programs that are, especially those programs that are quite intense. So a lot of our medicine students will live on campus. Some of our sort of engineering students may live on campus. So yeah, it's very convenient in that sense. We have an excellent student services team here at Flinders University. So we've been voted #1 in South Australia for overall student experience. And the international student support team, they pick up students from the airport throughout the year. They're really the first point of call for students if they have any issues or any questions or anything like that. And they really help to be the first point of contact, plus help students to connect with each other and really have an enjoyable learning experience as well. So we were voted last year as Australia's #1 university for postgraduate employment. So this is a real focus of the university, which is why we did get such a high ranking or were rated #1 for postgraduate employment outcomes. Flinders embeds internships and mentor programs, and basically embeds that careers aspect into all of our programs. So there's often a very large either internship or placement component into all of our programs, which really helps to bridge that gap between the theoretical learning that the students are doing and then the practical experience that they need to graduate with, so that they're very employable. So we're doing really well in this space. We have strong work integrated learning teams within the colleges that partner with students to really help them to build those employability skills and to really build their practical experience while they're studying. So we're very proud of that achievement, and it's something we continue to focus on. So with those 500 programs, we teach within 6 key colleges. So we teach within the College of Nursing and Health Science, the College of Medicine and Public Health, the College of Business, Government and Law, the College of Education, Psychology and Social Work, the College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences, and, oh, sorry, I skipped forward. And I missed one, the College of Science, Engineering and IT as well. So I'm not going to go through the 500 programs because obviously we don't have time for that today. And also that wouldn't be very interesting for everybody. So I'm just going to pick some of the key programs. And if there's anything afterwards that you wanted me to, ask me specific questions or anything that you wanted me to talk about, we can go through that then. But Flinders is very famous for its nursing programs. So we were the first nursing school in South Australia, and we are one of the oldest we run one of the oldest nursing programs in Australia, and in the top 30 worldwide in terms of nursing. So some incredible facilities. You can see in the photo there, that's one of our simulation labs. So decked out like a hospital, and the students, before they're practicing on real people, they're practicing on these mannequins who cough, sneeze, speak, choke, do a lot of the things that a normal patient would do. And it really gives that environment, that immersive learning environment for students to learn in. So we also have the Flinders Medical Centre, a very large public hospital, as well as the Flinders Private Hospital on campus. So all of those facilities are really useful for students that are studying within our health programs, because obviously they can go from the theory, they can learn in the simulation labs, and then they can move into the hospitals when they're ready as well for their placement aspects of their program. And students do, as I mentioned before, a large amount of placement throughout all of their programs. We also teach our what's called a Bachelor of Clinical Science MD program if students are looking to study medicine, which is very much like an MBBS. And we also teach an MD program, which is after a student has done an undergraduate, they can enter the MD program and do an additional 4 years. So I can go through any of these programs in more detail afterwards, but just given the 15 minutes, I'm just going to rush through them, and then please feel free to ask me any questions. So we also teach public health, both at undergraduate and postgraduate as well level. So, and as I mentioned before, we've got a big public hospital and private hospital on campus, as well as massive health research facilities on campus. The reason why I mention these things is it just is really helpful for students while they're studying. Many students have the opportunity to also do research placement opportunities within campus, either as part of their degree, or it might be part through their summer and things like that as a paid placement project. We also teach a whole range of allied health sciences courses as well. So we teach the largest range of allied health courses in South Australia and one of the largest in Australia. So audiology, exercise science, health science, nutrition and dietetics, occupational therapy, optometry, so speech pathology, a huge list there of allied health sciences. So very well known in that health space. And there's a very large project that's going on right now, which is called the Flinders Village. And basically a big national, state, and as well as Flinders investment into the whole university precinct. And the first start of it is they're building another health research facility. So we do have the largest health research facility within the state, and that's continuing to expand now. We also do teach a wide range of business programs, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level, and some very interesting specializations within those business programs. Once again, that big focus on the industry placement and the industry project. So all students have the opportunity to do that industry placement within their program as well. Hello, Sabi. Am I out of time?
Yes, I would appreciate if you can go to the question and answer session, Melissa.
Yes,
if that's okay. Thank you.
Absolutely, sure can. I'll just finish off by saying we have excellent programs in IT as well as engineering, which are recognised by the Australian Computer Society as well as the Engineers Australia, and recognised internationally as well. And some very interesting specializations in cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. We teach in education, as well as social work. Obviously, students can study English if they need to, and we have a full range of scholarships, both starting at 50%, 25%, and 20% full duration scholarships. So I will leave it there.
Yeah,
and open it up to questions.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Just a couple of things that I'd like to mention. If you can share the slides with me, I can forward it to the counselors at City School, and they can look up the links that you've just shared regarding the scholarships. Okay?
Absolutely, will do.
And Melissa, would you like to mention about the country representative that you have in Pakistan?
Absolutely. So we have a very new country representative that's just joined us in the last 3 weeks. Her name is Maham Muzaffar. So she is based in Lahore. So if you were wanting to speak to anyone locally, or if you wanted her to come and speak with students or anything like that, she would be more than happy to do that.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Please, participants, feel free to ask any questions if you have. Thank you. So any questions, anybody?
Hello, Melissa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How about you? Thank you so much for all the information that you shared. I just wanted to have a little bit more insight regarding the medicine, or you mentioned about, I should say, nursing courses. So any other courses when it comes to the sciences, which are the subjects generally the international students that prefer at your university?
Yes. So generally what I would say from Pakistan, we see a lot of students that go into IT, engineering, but you're right, some of the sciences as well. So we do see things like chemistry, physics, students going into some of those like more specified science areas or traditional science areas as well. So we definitely, as mentioned, we teach in over 500 programs. So we do have a very large range of programs. So probably anything that your students would be looking at, it's most likely we do teach. We also have things like biomed, biotech. So yes, a very large range of programs, especially within, you know, the science, technology, STEM areas.
And the scholarships that were mentioned on your slide, they are offered to all the disciplines, am I right? To sciences.
So there are a few
differs?
exceptions of programs that are not included. So it is worth just double checking. So some of the programs, it depends on things like, for instance, some of our programs like medicine is not included because it's what's called a quota program. So we only get a certain allocation of like seats for that program, and they fill every single year. So we're not unable to offer scholarship because we have more demand than we have places for that program. However, the majority of our programs have scholarship. It's about 6 or 7 programs total that are not included, but say medicine's one of those that are not included.
Thank you
I can
so much.
send through, when I send this presentation, I can send a link to as well the excluded list, because it's quicker to send through the programs that are not included than the ones that are, because the majority are, and there's about 6 or 7 that are not.
Thank you so much, Melissa. We have a couple of questions in the chat section, so I'll be handing over the mic to the next speaker, and meanwhile you can answer the questions in the chat. Thank you so much.
Okay, you want me to answer them?
Yes, we have a couple of questions coming in the chat section, so feel free to answer them. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
So hi, Shruti, are you there?
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Shruti, and I'm from James Cook University. I take care of the partnerships and schools engagement across South Asia, Middle East, and Africa. So welcome. I'm just going to take you quickly through the presentation, and then we'll have time for questions. So we are ranked in the top 2% of the world, and we're ranked 29th as the best young universities, 5 stars for learner engagement and skills development. We're also the 2nd in Australia for full-time graduate salaries, 1st in Australia for full-time employment rates, and 5 stars for teaching, employability, research, and facilities. We have a diverse cohort. So when I say diverse, we get students from 100 different countries, and 12% of them are international students. So it's quite international. It's not just students from South Asia, but across the world. One in the world for marine and freshwater biology, and 2nd in the world for biodiversity conservation. We also believe in hands-on learning. So most of our courses have internship, study abroad programs, or a work integrated learning programs. Most of the courses do have that. We have 3 campuses in Australia and 1 in Singapore. So this is the Townsville campus, which is quite massive. And we have about 12,000 students studying there. 13% of them are international. It's about 13 kilometers from the city center. And the other one is Cairns, slightly smaller, but it's beautifully located. If you know Sydney, I think right after Sydney, Cairns is one of the most tourist locations in Australia. And there are about 4,000 students studying at the Cairns campus. We also have a Brisbane campus where there are a few courses that are offered in the Brisbane campus and the Singapore campus. Apart from studies, we have different clubs and societies that students can be a part of. It could be course related, sports and recreational, or cultural. But if they don't find the kind of club that they want to be a part of, they can actually create their own. We offer programs across all levels of study, exchange programs, undergrad, postgrad, and research. These are the different areas that we cover. So we have arts and social sciences, business programs, medicine, psychology, vet sciences, healthcare sciences. We're very well known for our science programs. These are a couple of USPs. We are a boutique university. It's small in terms of the number of students. So therefore, the class sizes are small, and there's a lot of one-on-one attention that is given to the students. We also have exceptional graduate outcomes. We do have scholarships, and we're very close to the Great Barrier Reef, so beautifully located, and it's stunning out there. These are the top UG programs and entry requirements. So I've listed that out for you for A-levels, and we can discuss post the presentation. I just have a couple of more slides, but these are the most popular ones that students go for. Scholarships for 2023, we do have an International Student Excellence Scholarship, which is 25% tuition fee deduction on the total fees. And we offered a student merit stipend scholarship, which is about $700 per month until the end of the course, until the duration of the course. And this year, especially the 2022, we offered a welcome grant of $5,000 for every international student who came in or who's coming in 2022. So these are the three, and the scholarship that's 2023 is going to continue for the next year as well. And that's the experience that we offer, like no other. A couple of other things that I might share is the entry. Of course, the entry requirement I did show, but maybe I could speak about the application process. So students can apply with their predicted scores whenever the school issues them. And we have mostly 2 intakes, Feb and July. And some of the health programs, for example, medicine is offered just 1 intake, which is in February. Students apply with their predicted scores. We do need IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE. But if the student is from an IB or a Cambridge school, then we might take that into consideration, provided they have taken English. Apart from that, that's it. So the student does not need to apply separately for the scholarships. They will be assessed based on their application, and the scholarship get their full offer. But it would be mentioned whether the student is eligible or not. And I'm open for questions. It was a very quick presentation. I thought it could be more of questions, and yeah, any questions?
Thank you so much, Shruti. I think it was really wonderful, short and sweet. So participants, please feel free to ask any questions. We do have 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks.
Thanks, Shruti. It was really nice. It was really to the point. Okay, could you please give some more insight regarding the medicine scholarships as well as the criteria for the admission? Is it going to be the same that you mentioned before, but a little bit more detail is required for medicine?
For medicine. So we do have quite a number of seats for medicine, Shaheen, but unfortunately, most universities in Australia don't offer a scholarship for medicine. This is across, This includes medicine, vet sciences, I know, dentistry, all these 3 programs, they don't offer scholarships. But our medicine program is 6 years, which also includes an internship in the 6th year. And from what I do know is that most students do get placed in the 6th year. So we do help with that. It might be a rural placement, but that's definitely what students, most of the students do happen to get that. And it's a 6-year program. We are priced at about 78,000, I guess. Let me just check 1 second. Sorry.
How many international students do generally roll up yearly in your medicine program, especially from Pakistan?
We do get quite a few, actually. I think we have about 65 seats, And I think 50% of them are for international students. That's what I've
And
heard.
is it like
And-
from undergraduate level they join?
Sorry?
As an
This is right after
undergraduate?
12. So this is a direct entry. Yeah, there is you
Okay.
need to do your undergrad, but this is a direct entry that I'm speaking about. You
Right.
do need maths for this, and of course
Maths.
chemistry. Maths.
Uh-huh.
So the requirement is English, chemistry, and maths.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're priced at 59,000 Australian dollars. So keep it about 60,000, yeah, which is quite less compared to the others. The other thing that I do want to add is we are located in Northern Queensland, which is a regional location. And at the end of, say, a student completes 2 years or a 3-year or a 4-year degree, whatever, they can stay back in Australia for another 4 years, yeah, post their graduation.
For another how many years?
4 years, 4 to 5
4 years.
years.
And
Yeah.
can you please
5
mention
years.
the fee once again? I missed that because your voice was cracking.
Sorry, it is 60,000 Australian dollars per year.
Okay. Okay. Per year. Mhm. Thank you.
But students do get part-time jobs, which the university does help with. And because it's also a regional location, the cost of living is much less compared to, Melbourne or Sydney. Yeah. Any other questions that you would like to ask?
Thank you, Shruti. Thank you so much. I would request if we have any questions, please feel free to ask. And if not, then I think we can ask the next speaker to start this session. Thank you.
Hi, Shruti. Hi,
Bushra.
Shruti. This is Bushra from Saival campus. Yeah, there's just one question. After graduation, do the candidates need to have their AMC exam that usually doctors have to take when they come from Pakistan or any other country?
So look,
Or
so we are talking about direct entry, right? So once they finish their 12th grade, they apply for the 6-year program. So they're already registered once they finish their 6 year of medicine at JCU.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yeah, this is not a graduate entry that I'm speaking about. This is a direct entry.
Yeah, but I was talking about the AMC exam that usually
No, it's
doctors
not
have to
required.
take
So
when they reach.
because you will already be registered, right? Because you're completing the 6-year
Mhm.
program with us.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Good. Thanks.
I see that there is a lot of interest in medicine in Pakistan, which is great.
Yeah, our majority of the students are, apart from our counseling, they would love to go in medicine. So there's lots of potential.
Right. Yes, definitely. I think it's a great career as well. Okay. If you do have any questions, I'm just going to drop in my email ID here. Please feel free to drop me an email, or of course you can get in touch with Sabi as well.
Yes, thank you, Shruti.
University way.
Yeah, please drop in your email. And I think I would like to mention at this stage that because we are short of time and we had to sort of arrange very brief presentations. So if any of the campus is interested to, arrange specifically university specific presentation sessions for their students, you do have the email addresses of our international reps. Of course, you can also connect with me and I can arrange that as well. So this is just for the counselors, and if you want more detailed sessions for your students, we can look into that towards the later part of the year. Thank you. And thank you so much, Shruti. I think I'll start with the next speaker. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Sabi. Yeah, thanks everyone. Have a lovely day. Yeah.
Yep, you too. Thank you. So hi, Sandeep. If you are there with us, please feel free to join in. I'll just make you the co-host and then you can start with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sabi. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you so much, Sabi, for arranging this. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I'll start with a brief introduction of myself. My name is Sandeep Thakur, and I'm Assistant Manager for Marketing and Admissions with La Trobe University for Africa and in Pakistan. Today, we are here basically to talk about why study in Australia, why study overseas, basically, and why, of course, La Trobe. So starting with why study overseas. So of course, this top quality education that students can consider to apply for. huge career opportunities, becoming independent, because when they travel overseas for their studies, they take their own independent decisions. They become more responsible about themselves. It grooms them as a person as well. Of course, experience different culture from different parts of the world, build network with the friends from across the world. Of course, the international travel, then of course improve on the English skills no matter what they've studied overseas, and of course the great employment opportunities that comes within qualification from overseas, with interaction with people from all across the world, that makes the student as citizen of the world. Now, talking about why study in Australia. So Australia has always been considered as a land of opportunities. There are a lot of aspects to this. Some of the very interesting fact is that many of the universities, they are all world-class universities. They rank highly amongst all the three major ranking institutions, which is the Times, QS, and ARW. A safe education system, safe government-regulated education system. The recognition is globally. Students get their qualification accredited by the specific professional bodies. Cultural emanation. Students get to experience culture from across the globe. Living standards, cost of living is quite affordable in Australia as compared to many of our counterparts. Attractive scholarships. Many universities in Australia, they offer attractive scholarships for the students. Of course, the safe environment, strong support system for the student, wherein Australia does make sure that international students doesn't get affected in any way while they study or while they're on their student visa in Australia. Of course, it's a land of sun, sands, and beaches, and the post-study work rights that students get once they complete their qualification, which also gives them opportunity to basically showcase their qualification in terms of the professional or the practical aspect. Now, talking about La Trobe University, why choose La Trobe University? So some of the interesting facts about La Trobe University is that we are the third oldest university in state Victoria. We've got a huge presence in state Victoria, 2 campuses in Melbourne, 4 campuses in regional Victoria, and then we also got 1 campus in Sydney, which is New South Wales. In terms of the ranking, we are ranked amongst top 50 universities in the Asia Pacific region. Then that's the region that we are based into. But keeping that in mind, talking about the ranking on the world scale, with Times Higher Education, we are ranked among top 250 universities in the world. With QS, we recently jumped in our ranking, and now we are again amongst top 300 universities in the world. With ARU, again, we are amongst top 400 universities in the world. So be it any of the ranking, any of the major ranking institutions, we are among the top of that ranking as compared to the world. With Times Education, as I mentioned, we are amongst top 50 universities in the world, which makes us amongst top 1% globally. For subjects like sports-related programs, we are ranked amongst top 50 in the world. For courses into nursing, archaeology, philosophy, hospitality, tourism management, we are again ranked amongst top 100 in the world. For courses into business, IT, engineering, again, we range from 250 to 400 in the world. Now, talking about the postgraduate opportunities, so basically students who study or complete their degrees at La Trobe University and are able to find a suitable job for themselves within 4 to 6 months of their graduation. We again ranked 9th in Australia for that and 129th in the world in that aspect. Our undergraduate students in particular, once they graduate, the placement or the employment record is 87.6%. That means this is the percentage of students that who graduate from the university and able to find a suitable job for themselves. Now, a major driving factor behind this is the program called Career Advantage, wherein we make sure that students are engaged with the industry while they study at the university, which also involves professional mentor program, creating their profile, career fairs, and of course the careership wherein they get to work with one of our industry partners, of course, but during the vacation time. Coming down to QS star rating, we've got the maximum or the highest star rating for any of the category that they've got. Let it be teaching, employability, research, internationalization, online learning, given the fact of the COVID-19 situation and the way the university is involved in terms of the online learning aspect, arts and culture. All 5-star rating, and as an overall ranking, we've got 5+ star rating, which is the highest that any university can get with QS star rating. Now, tell you about our location. So we are based in the state called Victoria. We've got campus in Melbourne. We've got 1 campus in city center and another campus around 14 kilometers from there towards North Side, which is the main campus of La Trobe University. Well connected by rail and road. It doesn't take you more than 40 minutes to reach to our campus from the city center. Then we've got Bendigo, Shepparton, Elringadunga, and Mildura, which are the regional campuses. We've got around 35,000 students spread across all our campuses. Out of those, 9,000 are international students from 100 different nationalities. We've got around 200,000 alumni across the globe. As I mentioned, it's the third oldest university in the state Victoria, and of course, it's a state-based university. So we are amongst the world top universities, flagship campus amongst the most livable city, one of the most livable cities. We've got a range of scholarships that we offer. We've got around 250 plus courses for our students to choose from, and of course, the employability rate that I just talked about. Then we've got around more than 90 plus clubs and societies wherein students can enroll and pursue their hobbies as well. We've got a strong student support services for our students. So anything that they might require or they need assistance with during this visit to Toby University, we've got everything in place, or they can just contact our student support services and they can assist them with that. So that's the aerial picture of our campus in Melbourne, our flagship campus, which is the biggest metropolitan campus of any university in Australia. Along with this, as I mentioned, we've got other campuses as well, which is into Bendigo, Shepparton, Mildura, Sydney as well. Pictures of one of our regional doctorate holder. We've awarded him the honorary doctorate for his work that he does for women empowerment through his foundation called MEET Foundation. Now, in terms of the courses that we offer, so engineering, we've got Bachelor's of Civil Engineering, we've got Bachelor's of Engineering Industrial. Further leading to Information Technology, we've got Computer Science, Information Technology, and Cybersecurity. Coming down to Bachelor's in terms of business, we've got Bachelor's of Business, Accounting, and Business Analytics. Now, the beauty of the program is that we give you a range of specialization to choose for into the program. So students can tailor-make their own program. They can choose their majors and minors according to their preference. So that kind of option is available for students. In health, we've got nursing, we've got dental science, we've got physiotherapy, we've got psychological science, we've got biomedical science, we've got health sciences. Sports, we've got Bachelor's of Business Sports Management, we've got Bachelor's of Sports and Exercise Science. Coming down to Arts, Social Science and Communications, we've got Bachelor's of Archaeology, we've got Bachelor's of Global Studies, Media and Communication, Political Philosophy and Economics, and of course, Bachelor's of Arts. Again, Bachelor of Arts offer our students with multiple specialization opportunities wherein they can choose their majors and minor according to their preference. In terms of education teaching, we've got Bachelor's of Education, Primary and Secondary, Bachelor's of Outdoor and Sustainability Education, Bachelor of Early Childhood and Education. Coming down to law, we've got Bachelor's of Criminology, Bachelor's of Law, and we also got Bachelor's of Science, wherein again students can choose from various majors that they want to choose into the Bachelor's of Science. Now, one of the beautiful part that we offer at the university along with the studies is basically the integrated learning and the clinical placement, wherein we make sure that students are engaged with the industry as they study at the university. Particularly in our engineering programs, we've got this 6 months industry-based opportunity for the program, which is a part of the program. So it's university who organize and arranges this for the students for that. It's a good platform for our students to understand and get familiarized with the working culture and practice of our engineering industry. 90% of our students get observed with the same employer that they do the internship with. There's a lot of courses which are delivered by the industry experts. And of course, we've got a lot of professional professors of practice, which means people who have been working in the industry for up to around 25-30 years. We also get them to teach our students some practical aspect of those programs. Talking about the scholarship, our scholarship opportunity is up to 50% for our students from Pakistan. We look at their intermediate score, but yeah, we only accept students with pre-engineering and pre-medical for entry into the bachelor's program. If it is 60 to 74.99, we offer them a scholarship of 20%. If they score 75 to 79.99, we offer them a scholarship of 25%. If they score 80 and more, we offer them a scholarship of 30%. Now, students who basically come with an GCE A levels, with 7 and 8, they are eligible for 20% scholarship. Sorry, with 7, they are eligible for 20% scholarship. With 8 and 9, it's 25% scholarship. And with 10 and more, the scholarship is 30% for the entire duration of the program. That means for complete 3 or 4, whatever program they're coming for, they'll get this scholarship for entire duration of the program. The best part, they don't have to apply it separately. if they're eligible, they'll get the offer letter along with the scholarship itself. Second is the early bird acceptance grant, which means students who accept their offer letter quite in advance, we also offer them additional 5% discount on the first tuition fees. Now for November, we do offer November intake. For November intake, if the student applies before, on or before, or accepts on or before 14th of October, we're happy to give them additional 5% discount on the first tuition fees on top of the scholarship. Scholarship is for the complete duration of the program, but this 5% is only one time. Then students who would like to apply for one of our regional campuses, they'll get additional regional Victoria Experience Bursary of AUD 3,000 on top of scholarship. Early bird acceptance grant. That means they can club these 3 scholarships and bursaries together. This is again one time, but it's only for students who are coming down to study in one of our regional campuses. We do offer 50% excellence scholarship as well for our students from Pakistan. This is basically a nomination-based scholarship wherein we pull in all the applicants from Pakistan, and then we basically send them an invitation to apply for that scholarship. For this, we need them to submit their video testimonial. Once they submit the video testimonial, we assess their application, and then we nominate students from Pakistan every intake for 50% scholarship. So I'm just about to finish, and then I'll take your question. Cost of study at Lipdrop, on an average, the cost of study is varies from coast to coast, but on an average, you will find that it is around $35,000 per year for a program, which can also be substituted with the 30% scholarship for the entire duration of the program. And of course, living expenditures varies from place that you stay or as per the standard of living in Australia. Now, I'll be more than happy to take any questions that you might have.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. I really appreciate it. It was a very nice and interesting presentation. Please feel free to ask any questions, participants, that you might have. We do have some time. Thank you.
Hello, Sandeep. Thank you so much for all the information. It was really nice. I would like to ask about the sports and exercise course. Could you please give a little more detail about that one? Secondly, students from any background when it comes to A-levels, if they were science students, engineering, business, can they apply for sports and exercise, or is there any specific criteria for applying to that course?
Well, yeah, that's 3 years program that we offer, and programs totally focus upon the SOCs, the exercise and sports sciences. Now, in terms of the entry requirement, we expect students to have a science background to come and study this program, because there's a lot of clinical aspects also, which is also involved into the program. We expect our students from A-levels to have around a score of around 8 for entering into the program.
So if they don't have any sort of background when it comes to sports and all, like very, I should say, prominent one, they cannot apply for this course?
No, of course they can. As I mentioned, they need to have a science background. Apart from that, we don't expect to have any sort of background in terms of sports.
Can you please specify science background, like all the 3 sciences they must have studied previously? Is that the essentiality?
Yes, one of the programs.
Okay, even if it was physics, if it was biology or chemistry, any one of that. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
And are there any exchange programs as well offered? Though it was not mentioned in the slide, but still.
See, in terms of exchange program, yeah. So in exchange program, in terms of exchange program, we can only offer once if we have an agreement with the partner institution. If we don't have an agreement with the partner institution, we can't provide the exchange program. But if you're looking for something like exemptions, that means students who have done some sort of program in their own country but want to come and study the remaining part of the program at the university, we can always accept them with some exemptions. That depends about what part of the program that they've already completed. We'll map that program with our program, and if the program is similar, we can give them exemptions as
well. Okay, thank you so much. I'm done.
Any questions, anybody? Okay, so if we don't have any further questions, Sandeep, I'd like to thank you so much for your time, for your presentation. It was really interesting, and we were able to gain a lot of information regarding La Trobe. and the opportunities there. So we have our next presenter with us. So Sandeep, if you can, if you can share your email address in the chat box, and of course, we can then start with the next presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Sabi. I've shared my email ID in the chat section.
So thank you so much, Sandeep. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Thanks you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum, Fahad. How are you? Welcome to the online session. Thank you for your time. And please check if we can see your screen. If you can share your screen, and I'll just confirm that we can see it moving. Thank you.
Walaikum Assalam, Sabi. Thanks for having me in this session. Just sharing my screen now. Hello, everyone. This is Fahad Adnan. Let me just briefly introduce myself. I work as Associate Regional Manager for Murdoch University in Pakistan, Europe, and Middle East. And it's been 3.5 years I'm associated with Murdoch. And it's a pleasure to interact with you virtually at the moment. And thank you, Sabi, for your efforts and conducting this session. I'll just jump in straight due to time constraint that we have. So talking about Murdoch University, we need to know first where actually it is situated. So Murdoch University is in Perth. We've got 3 campuses. Our main campus is in Perth, the other one is in Singapore, and the third one is in Dubai. So this yellow dot in the bottom represents the location of Perth. As you can see, it's on the west coast. So Perth is basically the capital of Western Australia. And Western Australia is area-wise the biggest state in Australia. So if you can see, 60% of the world, when you travel to Perth, when you travel to Australia, you enter Australia from Western Australian state. So we are in approximate time zone with Perth, that is +3. For example, if we have like 10:30 a.m. here in Pakistan, in Perth, it is 1:30 p.m. In this way, students are well connected with their friends and family because there is not a lot of time zone difference. Now, starting off, why to choose Perth as a study destination for international students? There are different things to consider when international education is being finalized in terms of decision by a student. And you guys being the counselor, if you have ample knowledge of what is on offer and what benefits a city or state can give to a student, you will be giving information to student in a much better way. And these are the reasons how Perth is different from other cities and states in Australia. So we'll talk about industry, climate, beaches, sports, low living costs, work rights, and livability. Australia's backbone of economy is mining, and most of the mining is done in the state of Western Australia. So that is why Perth, being the capital of Western Australia, can be termed as industrial and financial hub of the country. The population of Western Australia is approximately 2.6 million, and specifically of Perth is 2.2 million. Most of the Australian Stock Exchange companies which are listed, they've got their head offices in Perth. And it is one of the largest iron ore producers in the world. So it can be connected to industry. And sometimes people think that Perth being a regional area would be, somewhat backward, or there will be less opportunities for students. But it's actually on the contrary. So Perth was a metropolitan city like any other city as Sydney or Melbourne a couple of years back, but in 2019 or late 18, I would say, it gained the status of regional city again. And it is only because the city has more capacity to accommodate people. There are a lot of sightseeing in Perth. It was ranked in New York Times top 50 places to visit in 2019, and then subsequently there is a place in south of Perth that is called Margaret River. It was also termed as like top 10 places to visit in the world by Lonely Planet. So yeah, it's the healthiest and sunniest city in Australia with 300 days of sunshine. Now, there are a lot of, like I was saying, the lifestyle is very, very relaxed in Perth. It's very laid back. So people, they enjoy themselves while they work and study. There are over 19 beaches within the city and 12,000 pristine coastline that covers the state of Western Australia. Talking about the monuments, it is home of Australia's best venue as the most beautiful stadium. This is the place, the reason for showing you this picture is that many students end up doing part-time work in this vicinity, and it hosts a lot of concerts, AFL, which is Australian Football League, and soccer, and many more. With all these things, Perth is the most affordable capital in Australia. It's the most cheapest capital in terms of living costs. So on average, rental prices in Perth are 80% lesser than Sydney and 40% lesser than Melbourne. So if you calculate, student can easily save somewhat around $500 approximately a month if they choose Perth as a study destination. The rental prices, it ranges from $140 to $170 per week, depending upon location. This slide again shows how expensive the city is. And these stats were taken a couple of years back, where Sydney was ranked as 10th most expensive city in the world. Melbourne was 14th, whereas Perth secured 46th. So this shows how low cost the city is. And the benefit of being a low cost city is that students can save more in terms of, if they want to explore Australia, they can spend more in tourism, they can spend more if they want to contribute to their next semester's tuition fee. It states that it's among top 15 most livable cities. To be very specific, it's 6th most livable city in the world at the moment. And the quality of life is extremely good. It is also rated as one of the safest places in the world. So for the female students, sometimes their family, they have a question that whether the city is safe for the females or not. The crime rate in Perth is very low. It is also a city known to be built by foreigners. So there is a lot of diversity. In Murdoch University, we've got students from more than 100 different nationalities. So when you go for your education, as you know, it's not just the books you learn from, it's basically the international exposure, the cultural exposure a student gets in Murdoch University, and the city of Perth offers it to the student. At the moment, students can work full-time because there was, after pandemic, these laws changed. Students are allowed to work full-time in Perth, that is 40 hours per week. But we don't know when this is going to be reversed back to its original state, which is 20 hours per week. The minimum wage rate in Perth is $19.49 per hour. So we've got a city that also offers 3 years of post-study work right visa to its undergrad students. When they finish their bachelor's degree, they get 3 years of post-study work right visa instead of 2, like being offered in Sydney or Melbourne. So there's an additional year for the students who can stay and enjoy and work in Perth. So I'll conclude Perth here. Now, if we do it in a nutshell, Perth is a kind of city that has got an answer to every possible question a student has. It's a city which is low cost. It's a city which offers high quality life. It's a city which offers more earning, because the average earning of a resident of Western Australia or Perth is $10,000 more than the national average income of an Australian. So this shows that how great a city is and what is on offer to students. Coming towards Murdoch University. Murdoch University was found in 1973. It's still a young university, and the bottom line or tagline of Murdoch University is that we encourage students to think freely. It's not that they need to follow the herd. It is named after a famous philosopher in Australia, Sir Walter Murdoch. And yeah, the history is very rich. We are a research-based university. So if students opt for research after their undergraduate degree, they do have the option of going for honors degree if they score well in their undergraduate. There's a very vibrant campus life within Murdoch University. It is one of the biggest campuses in Australia and covers the area of 227 hectares, all built on natural surroundings, natural bush surroundings, and there are a lot of restaurants within campus. We've got accommodation. I'll come to that later in my presentation. Again, the facilities for students, they enjoy while they study, and the quality of education is evident from its rankings. A short intro. Established in 1975. It is 1973 when IDEA was conceived. It's Perth's second university. At the moment, we've got over 13,500 students from 100 different countries in Perth campus. The courses we offer in both postgrad and undergrad is more than 200. Our 81% strength is undergrad students, which are high school graduates, and 19% is graduate plus research students. This is the breakdown. Our domestic Australian student percentage is 60%, which shows that when it comes to the choice of a local Aussie for his or her further education, Murdoch is their primary choice, being in Perth. In Perth, we've got like 4 universities: UWA, Curtin, Addiscoburn, and Murdoch. So this percentage shows that it is very much liked by local students. 24% is international offshore students in our 2 campuses, Singapore and Dubai, so on and so forth. We are top 100 in the world in terms of Times Higher Education Young Universities, and the definition is that it is still under 50 years of age, but it's one of the fastest growing universities in Australia. 87% is our research excellence. As I mentioned, that we are a research-based university. We are top 100 among Asia Pacific, and it was number 1 in Australia for graduate employability in 2018. And I would like to talk more about this, this ranking. So in Australia, we have every year, there's a survey in all Australian universities, that is 43 or 44 public universities in Australia, including group of 8. And the survey shows that how many students of a particular university got employment once they graduated. In 2018, Murdoch was number 1. This shows that our courses are being designed based upon the input from industry. It's not that we design our courses just through academics, but industry has its input. And that is the reason when a student graduates, he's a job-ready graduate because he possesses the skill set that is being required by the industry. The overall satisfaction in student experience, it's 90%, and that again was Student Experience Survey 2019. Recently, we have 5-star rating in QUILT. It's overall experience, learner engagement, student support services, teaching quality. Then we have different clubs. Our Murdoch Guild constitutes of 110 different clubs, which shows that there is, if a student is interested in extracurricular activities, there is something that matches his or her interest, whether they're interested in games, whether they're interested in dancing classes, whether they're interested in, debates or religion or so on and so forth. So there are 110 different affiliated clubs in Murdoch University where students can join. Our degrees, we have these faculties. It's business and law, science, technology, creative arts and communication, teaching, health, engineering, social and cultural studies. So these are the faculties where we offer more than 200 courses to our students. Talking about few of the courses, now these are not all, but few which are most popular. So if undergrad business and law, we have accounting, hospitality and tourism, international business, criminal behavior, crime science, human resource management. In creative arts and communication, we've got English and creative arts, we've got journalism, global media and communication, games, software design, graphics design, games, art and design. As you know, gaming nowadays has become multi-billion-dollar industry in the world. So we do teach the students the latest trends. In engineering, we've got environmental, engineering technology, and renewable energy. In health, we've got psychology, nursing, chiropractic science, sports and exercise science. In science subjects, we are very famous for our veterinary and animal science discipline. We are among, this faculty is among the best in the world, I would say, not just in Australia. We are the only university who has, on-campus farms for research, on-campus veterinary hospital, which is being, giving services to the whole state. We also got biomedical science, forensic biology and toxicology. Again, it involves DNA sampling and fingerprint analysis and analyzing criminal behavior. So again, it entrusts the students. In social and cultural studies, we for global politics, international aid and development, community development, sociology, terrorism and counterterrorism. In teaching, it's early childhood and primary, health and physical education. In information technology, we've got cybersecurity and forensics, we've got business information systems, mobile application development. We also offer honors degree to our students. So students who are high achievers in their undergraduate degree, they can study an additional year where they can, if they are interested, they can go for research and find a supervisor. Our scholarships for international students, it's 20% and it covers the whole duration of the course. It is applicable on each and every semester. So if a student joins his first semester, he gets 20% fee reduction right from the start. And there is no application process. When a student gets the offer letter, he gets this scholarship. The average amount of scholarship for an undergraduate student, it goes up till $18,000 to $19,000. For academic entry requirements, quickly, if a student has done A-levels, he needs to score, in majority of the courses, he needs to score 6 points overall. For few of the courses for which entry requirements are higher, they need to score more, like law, nursing, but engineering. But most of the courses, it's overall 6 points in 2 or 3 academic subjects. And if a student has done local curriculum, if he has studied HSSC, he needs overall 65% marks with no marks less than 65 in 4 academic subjects, including English. For English entry requirements, if a student has done O-levels, A-levels, and he has scored C and above in his O-levels, he doesn't need to sit in any English exam. His entry requirement for English is already met. But if a student has done local curriculum, for example, HSSC, he needs to score overall 6 band with no band less than 6 for most of the courses. And if he wants to do PTE, he needs 50 score with no score less than 50. So this is the breakdown of what score is acceptable for different courses. Student also needs to submit a statement of purpose. We call GTE statement of purpose, where student outlines why he has chosen Australia, why he has chosen Perth, why he has chosen Murdoch University, how the chosen course will contribute towards its future aspirations. So yeah, this statement of purpose is being written by the student along with the application. If the student does not meet direct entry requirement, he has an option to go via pathway. If the grades are low, he can choose one of these pathways like NIT, Canning College in Perth, Phoenix Academy. So these are a few of the pathway providers that we work with. Lastly, talking about accommodation, we do have on-campus accommodation for 800 students. We call it Murdoch Village. It's apartment style building. The room starts from $140 per week and it includes everything. It includes your utilities, it includes high-speed internet, it includes swimming pool, outdoor facilities. So whatever facilities, your room will be furnished. We'll have airport pickup facility. But you need to secure this space in advance if you go for on-campus accommodation, because the slots, they always are limited. So These are the pictures for on-campus accommodation. Again, it gives the difference between the accommodation prices in Perth and Sydney. You can also go for off-campus accommodation. I've already mentioned the cost varies between $140 to $170 per week. That's all from my side. I'll be more than happy to take any questions. I hope I'm finished within time, Sabi.
Ji Fahad, thank you so much. Anybody has any questions? We still have 2 to 3 minutes before we start with the next session. So if you have any questions regarding Perth, Murdoch, and of course, Fahad being here with us in Pakistan, I think it's something which can be very beneficial for the counselors. So please feel free to ask any questions. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, Fahad. Hello.
Walaikum assalam, Shaheen.
Could you please give some more details regarding the, like, what should be the grade requirement basically when it comes to scholarship and admissions, general, like in all your courses?
Sure, Shaheen, thank you so much for the question. Well, our scholarship is being offered to all international students, irrespective of the grades. So it's a welcome back scholarship. If a student secures admission or offer letter in Murdoch University, he automatically gets this scholarship. The scholarship is not academic achievement-based scholarship. And the minimum grades required to get an admission if a student has done A levels, A2, it's 6 points. So, you know, these points are calculated as A is equal to 5, B is equal to 4, C is equal to 3. So if a student has scored even 2 C's, he qualifies for bachelor's degree, direct bachelor's degree in Murdoch University. And again, he qualifies for the scholarship. If a student performs good during his studies in Murdoch University, for example, he scores more than GPA of more than 3 in his first semester, he gets $1,000 more bursary from the university for academic achievement excellence. So there are no separate scholarships for high achievers at the moment. It's only welcome back scholarship, which is being offered to all the students.
That's great. Really nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So any questions, anybody? Or should we start with the next session?
Ma'am Sabi, I have a question overall, like all these universities, is there any particular portal that at once we could apply in all the universities, or no? Individually, we need to carry on with their particular websites and links for applying for the university.
Yes, Shaheen, that's a wonderful question. Thank you so much. Fahad, I think you'd be able to guide Shaheen with regards to this.
Well, I'm afraid there isn't a single portal for all universities. There could be a single portal for a couple of universities. Sometimes StudyLink is the portal where student can launch application at one time to multiple universities. But for most of the universities in Australia, you need to apply individually on their portal or apply through agents.
And do they have admission fee as well or no?
No, most of the universities, they don't have admission fee. Apart
and
from
which universities? Which ones would be having fee?
Oh, well, if I give you any information, it will be half-hearted information. I think probably few of the group of 8 universities, they do have fee, but most of them, they don't have any admission fee.
So if we talk about Fahad, if we talk about our IRU members, Murdoch doesn't charge any fee.
No.
Yeah. So Shaheen, it would vary, but I think most of the IRU universities, I don't think they charge any fees, but it's a good question. I can get back to you on this. Let me find out from all the 8 members and I'll get back to you on this, okay?
That would be so nice of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaheen. Any other questions? Okay, so I think we can now start the next session, which would be the second last session. Thank you so much, Fahad, for being with us. And thank you for the lovely briefing about Perth and Murdoch. It was really enjoyable. Thank you. And
all mine.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll start with Daniel, who will be representing University of Canberra. Thank you, Fahad. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hi, Daniel. Are you there?
I am Sabir. How are you?
Good, good. How are you? Good to see you. How are you feeling now?
Oh, feeling better now. Yes.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Yes. But
So
it's good to be
Daniel,
back.
yeah, so for everybody, Daniel has just recovered from COVID. He acquired it a couple of weeks back, I think. So he's doing well now. Daniel, can you share your screen and let's see if it's moving?
I sure will. Yes. Can you see my screen okay, everyone?
Yeah. Yeah, we can see it. And if you can begin the slideshow so that we can see if it's moving.
Yes, I will do that right now. Is the screen okay?
Yes, perfect. So Daniel, you have 20 minutes max, which includes the question and answer session. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Sabir. Hi, everyone. Great to have you for this University of Canberra information session. Thank you all very much for your time to attend. My name is Daniel Connor. I work as manager for the Middle East, Africa, and sponsor engagement at the University of Canberra. Now, I'm very conscious about the time. So in this session, I'd like to sort of go through a quick overview about University of Canberra and also Canberra as a city, as a study destination, just to give you some understanding of what we have to offer here in Australia's beautiful capital city. So I hope this session will be very useful to everyone. Just to begin with some latest ranking information. So University of Canberra is currently ranked within the top 1% of the universities in the world, and ranked top 10 in Australia and top 20 young universities in the world. And we have a very high graduation employment rate with 5-star rating for staff qualifications and teaching quality. We are still a bit over like 30 years old as a university. So we are a young and dynamic university offering a wide range of degree courses in various academic fields, which are all career focused and career driven courses. We got a few more latest rankings we'd like to show you as well. We'll be ranked as #1 in the world for reducing inequalities in 2021 and 2022. And #5 in the world for quality education and top 20 universities for gender equality by the Times Higher Education Impact rankings. Now, considering how young we still are, it is a remarkable achievement, and we are very, very proud of it. There are lots of reasons why students choose the University of Canberra as their choice of institution. We do offer a professional preparation for professional careers. At the university, we do make sure that everything that students study, everything they learn, will lead into a professional career that students choose to go into, whether that be a business degree, commerce or law or IT, whatever the degree is, our students will be very well prepared to get into their chosen careers after they successfully complete their UC degrees. And this has always been our focus, and this will always be our focus, giving students professional preparation for their careers, for their chosen careers. And this focus has been working really, really well for our students, because our students are getting a great result out of this. UC has very high graduate employment rates, over 87% for undergraduate students and over 94% for postgraduate students. And our graduates are amongst the most employable in the country as well. Now, study destination Canberra, the capital city of Australia, as I mentioned, as a city, I guess it's like a hidden gem. It is the best kept secret of the country. There are millions of reasons why students choose Canberra to come and study and live as a study destination. Now, rising employment is one of the reasons. Our job market here in Canberra is one of the rising opportunities. Although the population in Canberra is relatively smaller compared to other major cities like Sydney or Melbourne, it is growing every year because a lot of people choose to move here to Canberra for jobs and for study purposes, not just from interstate, but from overseas as well. And that's making the city becoming more and more cosmopolitan and vibrant. And as the population grows, obviously the service industries like cinemas, shopping centers, and cafes, restaurants, and nightclubs are also growing very, very fast here. And new businesses opening up, that's creating a lot of part-time jobs for international students as well. Now, students get a better pay here in Canberra. Now, people who work here earn the highest in Australia. A lot of international students take up part-time jobs during their study, as obviously that helps, manage students' everyday expenses. And a lot of the students find part-time jobs during their study under the student visa, which allows students to work 20 hours a week. And you can expect to get paid around $25 to $30 per hour. And that's really one of the best rates that we've got in the country as well. Because Canberra is also considered as a regional city, there is an opportunity for every international student to gain up to 4 years of post-study work permit right now. So that's a great benefit for all the international students planning to stay and gain some work experience in the Canberra region after they complete their studies. So when you talk about sort of Canberra, it is much more than the city itself. It is about being the capital city. It is about the political, academic, diplomatic, and industrial connections, which help our students find, jobs for their future careers. It is the quality of living. It is the wealth that Canberra has, and that's helping the city maintain its highest quality of living possible in Australia and in the world. And being in the capital city of Australia, our University of Canberra, is very, very well connected with the government and the private sectors. And as I mentioned, there are a lot of part-time jobs in Canberra, and students allowed to work 20 hours a week under the student visa. And it's just sort of how much people in Canberra get paid. Canberra is the highest paid city in the country, and this makes Canberra the richest city in Australia. Very high employment rate, one of the highest in the country with highest average full-time income. And this makes the whole state, the Australian Capital Territory, the richest state with the Canberra population, most educated in the country as well. Now, Canberra used to be seen as a government-centered city in the past because of the large public servant and government official population. But in present times, it's very different. Around 40% of the workforce here working in the government sector, and around 60% now working in the private sector in Canberra. And that's sort of showing the fact that there are more people working in the private sector, like the service industry now, than the government sector in Canberra, which is a great thing, because that means there are more private businesses coming into town and creating a lot of jobs for our students. And our graduates have one of the highest employment rates, as I mentioned, and they are getting the highest median salary. And this is because employers trust our graduates. Employers are well aware that our graduates can perform very, very well when they start working in the workforce, because our graduates are well prepared and well equipped with the skills that they need for the work they do. So the industry connections we have and the trust that we've got from our industry partners are making our graduates receive the highest median salary compared to other graduates from other universities in Australia. And that's a very, very special relationship that we've got here in Canberra that probably can't be seen in any other cities in Australia. Life at UC is very exciting as well. We do guarantee accommodation on campus for every single international student. And the campus accommodation starts from $156 per week, which is a very reasonable rate we've got. We got more than 80 active academic and social clubs available on and off campus. And we do organize a lot of social events like barbecues, concerts, and activities throughout the year. Everything is close to each other, to banks, gyms, shops, health clinics, and more within the campus. And we have an extensive student support services available, which is ranked #1 in Australia for graduates in full-time study. We've also got a multi-faith center which caters for students' different religious needs. And we are one of the most multicultural campuses in Australia as well, home to students coming from more than 100 different countries. And we got a dedicated international student support services team. So there's a lot of help and assistance available to all the students we have at the university. We organize a lot of counseling sessions with our counselors if the students have any issues at all. And we're always there to help all the students to make sure that their studies are successful. So UC Careers team is another sort of team that that supports all the international students on campus. They do assist students to find work opportunities or prepare students for part-time and full-time employment. And in terms of casual jobs, we have a special scheme where we give preference to our students where whenever there are any job vacancies coming up, so that our students are notified of vacant positions. So in other words, our students are always the first group to know that there is a job vacancy available that they can apply for. There's also a large number of internship opportunities here. We facilitate to connect our students with various industries by introducing the students to the industry partners at careers fairs and other sort of job fairs that we organize every year. So our students will be very well connected with our industry partners at many different levels. Our university is also very well connected with the embassies and Canberra's diplomatic community here. We have very close links with the local diplomatic communities, and some of the diplomatic staff are also our students studying at our university here. These are some of our industry partners located in Canberra with whom we work very closely. As I mentioned, we've got a very strong connection with these industry partners and providing a lot of job opportunities for all of our international students. Now, I wouldn't go into too much sort of detail about our course list, as we can see the full course list on our website or through our course guide. But this is just to sort of show you how successful our students have been at each faculty. We do offer a wide range of degrees in many different academic fields of study and at UC, and our Faculty of Arts and Design, we got a lot of highest ratings, like for median salary in communications, our highest rating for full-time employment in humanities, culture, and creative arts areas, and highest rating for teaching quality in architecture and built environment, and so on. Very high employment rates and starting salaries, and a lot of internship opportunities embedded in all courses that we offer. Some of the examples of the academic disciplines taught at the faculty are just some of, just an example to show you. And I'll make sure I can sort of get back to you with a list, with the copy of the slides that I used today, so that you can keep it as a good reference. Now, the Faculty of Business, Government and Law, we got a 5-star for starting salary and graduate employment, and #1 in Australia for postgraduate law. Very high employment rates and median income as well. And as mentioned, our graduates are one of the most employable in the country. And these are some of the examples of the academic disciplines taught at the faculty as well. Now, all include some form of practical work experience or internships. And the faculty currently works with more than 230 companies and organizations to deliver work integrated learning, like internships or community work or volunteering, as part of the degree, relevant professional practice and internships. So all students will get very, very hands-on sort of work experience as part of the degree as well. The Faculty of Education, very strong industry connections with school sectors in Canberra, offering our students placements to get internships done through our school partners. And as a result, the employment rates for our students have been extremely high, and the median income has been very, very high as well. We are a leading educational institutions for the areas of early childhood education, primary and secondary education, and educational leadership. We have 25 affiliated schools in partnership with the Australian Capital Territory Education Directorate, providing a lot of work, integrated learning programs for our students as well. And these are some of the examples of the academic disciplines taught at the Faculty of Education. All includes hands-on practical work experience and internship program. For example, our teaching degrees in primary and secondary education involves 60 days of professional teaching experience with our partner schools that prepare our students for real world work experience, so that when students graduate, they're sort of ready to kickstart their career in the industry. The Faculty of Health, now we do work with a lot of elite athletes, Olympians, and professional sporting teams. We have our own hospital on campus and have other medical facilities and clinics based on our campus that can offer a lot of sort of work opportunities to our students who are studying in the areas of things like physiotherapy, nursing, pharmacy, or nutrition studies. And given the strong industry connections we've got, we have the highest ratings for full-time employment in nursing, psychology, and rehabilitations, with above average median income as well. And these are some of the examples of the academic disciplines taught at the Faculty of Health. Just like education, all includes practical work experience or internships. As an example, in the areas of Bachelor of Occupational Therapy, around 1,000 hours of practical placements are part of the 4-year degree. Working in our hospitals, health clinics, or community organizations as well. In Bachelor of Nursing program, the course offers around 880 hours of clinical practice over the duration of the degree. Working in pediatric hospital, aged care facilities, emergency departments, or intensive care units, very hands-on and practical assignments, making sure that our students will be very well prepared to go into the workforce after successfully completing our degree. Now, science and tech, again, a lot of industry-based work opportunities available during study that's creating a lot of employment opportunities for our students. And as a result of the connections, the employment rates have been really high at the Faculty of Science and Tech. Again, we have a lot of highest ratings for things like educational experience, student support, and teaching quality and learning resources in the areas of engineering, science and maths, and environmental studies. And as a result, the employment rates for our students have been very, very high. And the median income has been very high as well. And these are some of the examples of the academic disciplines taught at the Faculty of Science and Tech. In the Bachelor of IT, for example, we are in top 10 in Australia for full-time employment, and students can specialize in many different areas within the IT degree, like cloud computing, cybersecurity, data science, robotics, and artificial intelligence. And depending on availability in the study plan, students can also take internships ranging from 120 hours to 480 hours as part of the IT degree, Bachelor of IT. And key industry partners we work with include, the Department of Defense, the ACT government, the state government, Microsoft, and PwC as well. So being in the capital city of Australia, it is really the industry connections in both the government and the private sectors that are giving our students a great advantage when it comes to finding employment and career opportunities. And that's something that's really, as I mentioned, very special about the University of Canberra. And being in Canberra, and you probably wouldn't have this kind of opportunity in other cities. I'm very conscious about the time, and time is running out. Now, these are the scholarships currently offered to international students. So academic merit-based scholarships based on academic merits. Now, between 10 to 25% scholarships covering the whole duration of the course. Now, 10 to 20% scholarships available for all degrees offered at undergrad and postgraduate levels. The 25% scholarships apply to selected degrees only for students from certain nationalities, including students coming from Pakistan. So, for example, if you choose to do things like, Master of Data Science or Master of International Business, which is under the 25% scholarship category, and if student is academically eligible, students could receive 25% tuition fee discount, which is around $7,000 to $8,000 deduction every year. So that's a big amount of scholarship that students could receive every year. Now, I can provide you with more information about all the scholarship offerings we've got after the session from our webpage, as we've got more detailed information on the website as well. Now, this is the biggest scholarship the University of Canberra has ever offered. So this is called the Vice Chancellor's Social Champion Scholarship, and there will be 3 full scholarships for international students with coverage including tuition fees, accommodation, and a $10,000 per year allowance. And this will be a great incentive for students who have high academic backgrounds and are active in their community, but who may not otherwise be able to afford to study internationally. And as I said, I can provide you with more information about all the scholarship offerings with all the relevant links, so that you can have a look through when you have time. Now, so this is just a summary about just what I've just mentioned. So the University of Canberra, we've got in-demand graduates, 87% graduate employment rate, and above average studying salaries. And we are currently within top 1% of the universities in the world, and Australia's top 10 universities now. And we got a wide range of partial scholarships, academic merit-based partial scholarships available. And also Canberra being a regional city, students will have an opportunity to gain up to 4 years of post-study work rights after students successfully complete their UC degree. So I'll stop now, and this is the end of my slide, and I'm happy to sort of take any questions that you might have about the University of Canberra or Canberra as a study destination.
Thank you so much, Daniel. That's really appreciative. It was a very interesting and to the point presentation. We have gone above time, so I can allow just 1 or 2 questions if we have any. Yeah. Otherwise, sure, we need to start with the last session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask Daniel right now. Daniel, can you please share your contact details in the chat for everybody to reach out to you?
Sure. I'll do that right now.
And I think we don't have any questions. Is that correct?
I do have one about the Vice Chancellor Scholarship. Is that offered automatically to the students, or no, any specific sort of like requirements are there for that a student would receive it?
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
all the sort of requirements are stated on our website. So I'm happy to actually provide you with more sort of information and the link as well, because that sort of tells you exactly what students need to sort of prepare for to apply for the scholarship. Whereas all the sort of others like 10 to 25% partial scholarships, they are basically automatic assessments. So as soon as we receive applications, eligibility will be assessed for the course and for the scholarship as well. But for the Vice Chancellor's Social Champion Scholarship, the application procedure is slightly different. So so different criteria as well. So let me send you more information through the link after the session, if that's okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's perfectly
Daniel.
fine.
Thank you,
Thank
Shaheen,
you.
for your question. If you don't have any questions, may I start with the next last session?
Yeah, I'm just going to type my
Sure.
email and just before I leave, so that if anyone has any questions, please feel free to.
Thank you. Thank you,
know.
Daniel. Thank you so much. Hi, Gareth. Hi, Fatma. Welcome to the
Hi,
session.
Sabi. Hi, Daniel as well. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, brother. You're all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sabi. Good to see Fatima here as well. And great to have the room with us today. So thanks very much indeed for joining. I understand or Fatima and I are number 6 in the presentation sequence today. Is that correct?
Number 7th, actually.
Number 7. Okay.
Yes. Yours is the last.
Lucky last. Lucky last. Lucky number 7. Lucky last. All right.
Yes.
Well, look, I hope to provide a fairly succinct and clear presentation today. I will say to everyone here today from City School, we are at Western Sydney University, just broadly as a kind of key point to make, is a very popular institution among Pakistani students. A number of reasons for that, principally being our location in Australia, in Sydney. It's a popular destination for students to come to. Our university offers very strong ranking, global ranking as a public institution in Australia. We are also heavily professionally accredited, and where professional accreditations are possible to seek, we seek them out and we attain them. That attracts Pakistani students to our university. The ranking attracts the students as well. Sydney as a location. And of course, our university offers a very fair level of pricing for our tuition fees and scholarships as well. And attractive entry requirements that are without doubt achievable for our Pakistani students. So we if you like, tick a number of boxes for our interested students. We, of course, have the wonderful Fatima Arif, my colleague, who's based in Lahore. And Fatima's joined us over the last year to provide an extra level of support for inquiring students, and is able to answer questions and help particularly the parents as well when they're thinking about study overseas in Australia for their sons and daughters. I do want to share with you a few slides, of course, just like my colleagues from the Innovative Research Universities group. I'm hoping everyone can see screen. Sabi?
Yes, Gareth, thank you. We can see it. Please continue. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. And so myself, Gareth, I look after a lot of our work across the Middle East Africa region, also in Europe now. And of course, Pakistan is a particularly important part of the region that Fatima and I look after. So that's by way of introduction. Straight in, to these kind of comments and the reasons for Western Sydney, students should always be asking, what should they want from a university? How do they choose? What questions should they be asking the counselors? And really, for us, it boils down to the course choice, the accreditation. Students should be asking about that, and we feel that counselors should be providing that information. Is the university going to help and assist in job seeking? Is the university ranked, recognized? Is it a public institution or a private one? Student support, life on campus. Where is that university located? Which city? Are there jobs there? Is the living conditions good in that city? So what are the costs, the scholarships? Is there accommodation? And can I stay and work when I finish? These questions probably come to you as counselors, and certainly as a university, we have very positive answers for all of these questions. As mentioned, we are a comprehensive public university in Australia. We have a huge range of undergraduate degrees available for our students, and which I'll go into some in a second. They are professionally accredited, as well as having strong ranking on Times Higher Education, QS ranking, and the Shanghai ones as well. Work integrated learning. We help students in seeking the skills and knowledge necessary for the workplace. And we also build into our degree programs work integrated learning. That might mean internships. It could mean clinical placements and practice, industrial experience, and we bring the outside of the professional world into the university as well to run projects with our students so that they're getting real world experience before they graduate. Critical for students. Sydney's a great place to visit, great place to spend some time, and more importantly, great place to begin your professional career. See, it is the center, the economic center of Australia. The western suburbs of Sydney are Australia's fastest growing economic region. There is a huge amount of investment in the Western Sydney area. It means for your students coming to Australia and coming to Sydney and Western Sydney, there will be an abundance of opportunity for them to develop real world professional practice and work experience, both during their university time and of course in their post-study working visa afterwards. We are affordable in comparison to many institutions, offering good value for money. The accommodation options are good for students and reasonably priced, and the scholarships we'll talk about in a while with Fatima. Nearly 50,000 students at our institution. We're one of the biggest universities in Australia and about 14% international. 13 schools. Our ranking, we're number 235 in the world on Times Higher Ed. And according to the Times rankings recently, a great feather in our cap at our university is that we were considered number 1 in the world on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal rankings organized by Times Higher Education. Quite an achievement. That is a higher ranking than Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, Caltech, Harvard, and all the Ivy League. Western Sydney came in number 1. Quite an important and a great achievement for our institutions. These sustainable development goals are geared around things like climate action. They're geared around things like social justice, equality, and those kind of things. And also things like food security, water security, and water sanitation. There are great development goals that have been organized from the United Nations, and our university was deemed number 1 in the world in action towards achieving those. Very impressive. So please let your students know about Western Sydney University in terms of that. I know we have limited time, but I just wanted to highlight and quickly scan over some of the rankings, not only overall as a university, but in different faculty areas. We also have subject rankings. Please direct your students to consider those. We do very well in Times Higher Education, QS. We have 5-star ratings from Quacquarelli Simons on the star ratings for things like employability, internationalization, our teaching, our inclusiveness. Very, very strong rankings in that. Some of the subject rankings I've listed here, bringing in and accommodating things like engineering, things like business, accounting, finance, law, psychology. These are some of the big course choices, and computer science. for Pakistani students. So we do very well across there. Undergraduate programs, I'm listing some of the areas. If I just start with business and accounting, these are some of our big undergraduate choices from Pakistan: engineering, computer science, and ICT. So we're accommodating key specializations, multi-specializations, different majors available for students on these programs. We also are one of the few universities in Australia that offer a Doctor of Medicine for undergraduate students from A-level. So your students undertaking their A-level studies with very strong grades, the outcome can also qualify for the 5-year MBBS, Doctor of Medicine program at our institution. We teach psychology, science, of course, medical science, and nursing and social work are becoming important programs also. Just in terms of undergrad, business, we offer 3-year degrees. My colleagues at the other institutions will have similar offerings. I want to add, not only is our university highly ranked as a public institution in Australia, we're also AACSB accredited as a school of business, which is quite a feat and not something that about half of the universities in Australia have that accreditation. So we are a good institution in terms of business with a range, and I'd like to highlight here, if I may, you can see, from the specializations, the different options available. The standard ones: finance, accounting, economics, international business, quite a popular choice, and management. I do want to highlight another one as well. It's becoming interesting, which is our property specialization in undergraduate business. Very highly accredited, offering students great outcomes. But you can see from our accounting degrees, we also feature well in terms of professional accreditation. So we have a strong offering to make there for students, and some of the various accreditations I've listed here. The teaching occurs at our Parramatta City campus, and we offer students from that sort of central city centre location within the area of Sydney we're in, a great offering to our student network in terms of engagement with professional bodies, organizations, for example, here, like Linfox for supply chain logistics, Westpac Bank, PricewaterhouseCoopers, the global accounting firm, KPMG as well. This is the interior of our city campus building in Parramatta, where our School of Business live. Very impressive facility, about 5 years old, which offers students, it's kind of like a 24-hour library classroom environment right next to the station, and a very, very strong location for students to be studying in. PricewaterhouseCoopers, I mentioned, is one of our key partners within the school, and they take on about 50 to 60 students per year, for international students, into their level 13 office for project work for our student. That's paid employment. And so a number of our international students are very lucky to secure those roles whilst they're studying. And many students get taken on in contract roles once they've graduated. Engineering, very popular choice in Pakistan for students. Our main principal program is an engineering honours degree, 4 years duration. You can see the pricing point there at $33,000 per year. Students coming to Australia could be looking for an Engineers Australia accredited Washington Accord degree, possibly paying $40,000, $45,000 a year. We are well ranked as a public institution, strong Washington Accord accreditation with a huge array of different specialization majors for our engineering degree, with industrial experience built into the program. We teach this also at our brand new facility, the Engineering Hub in Parramatta Central, which is fully equipped with laboratory space, enabling our students great campus location and great access to the course. We do very well in some of our subject rankings in civil and electrical, and some of the listings there in terms of features and benefits are there, which we can forward through. Industry partners, students have to do a 12-week experience. We help them find that. Important for students to know, we don't leave them on their own to find that fourth-year industrial experience. We give them assistance, and these are some of the big organizations that we work with, city councils, water authority, to help them find those industrial roles. Great course to do, a very large demand for engineers globally. ICT and computing, again, our public university is professionally accredited. Students will be undertaking, professionally accredited by the Australian Computer Society. Students must have that at professional level in order to function and operate within the industry in Australia. Bachelor of Computer Science, you can see some of the key majors there: cyber, networking, artificial intelligence, and systems programming, probably the most important ones available. And we offer a range of other ones as well: entertainment computing, mobile computing as well. So a very attractive program for students because of those specializations in demand. Around about $31,000 a year, which again is quite a competitive rate. Now, nursing for Pakistan students is not the most popular one, but a very, very solid employment base in Australia and globally around the world. Students, qualified nursing students in Australia earn very, very good money. It's a highly respected, regarded professional occupation here, and one that is in demand. Many students will undertake this program, fully accredited again, 3-year program. I know my colleague Daniel at University of Canberra was talking about this. Very, very solid program with full clinical placements organized by the faculty staff as well. Now, students under that, roughly $32,000 a year, and a higher IELTS requirement, typically for A-level students, entirely achievable. Doctor of Medicine, we have about 35 places a year for students. A-level students preferred. Their qualifications are very highly recognized under A-level. We're seeking here students with A stars to come through. So 2 A stars and an A is going to satisfy requirements for academic entry. Very highly sought after degree, and one, of course, that comes with a higher price tag. There aren't, unfortunately, any scholarships into this, but I wanted to flag this because we do get Pakistani students undertaking this program each year. It's a March intake only. IELTS 7's required in each band, and an international scholastic aptitude test also required. Psychology, very strong rankings. We do very well here. It's a fairly popular choice among Pakistani students. We have a 4-year honours program, one of the largest psychology schools in Australia, in fact, and certainly students seeking to go through to that accredited 4th-year study. We get many students undertaking that program. Award-winning academics, and again, a reasonably priced $29,880 per year, and certainly a kind of pathway and ticket to a career in psychology. Science as well, reasonably strong rankings across the board, very strong research output at our institution, and a great range of different major options for undergraduate science and medical science. Wonderful facilities, particularly in the area of horticulture and agriculture. We have a very, very strong research facility. But you can see some of the range of programs here, roughly, again, $32,000 a year at Western Sydney. You can see the medical science specializations in biomed, anatomy, physiology, medicinal chemistry, and the specializations in science listed at the bottom. As mentioned, we do a lot to help our students with jobs. Jobs on campus, our careers team are there. We have individualized focus on international students seeking careers. That's whilst they're studying part-time, they can work, and also post their graduation, they can stay on in Australia on visas, working visas, to extend their stay, possibly for 2 or 3 years, possibly longer. And our team at Careers will be helping them and guiding them towards achieving their employment goals. I mentioned PwC before. I won't linger on this. We have a very, very strong relationship with this organization. They take our students every year, and they are very keen to have international students. It doesn't have to be from an accounting or business background. They take students from all sorts of backgrounds. They are looking to bring in undergraduate and postgraduate students with ability. So they will put an alert out every few months for new positions available for casual work. And many of our students will go in and participate within that program. Our campuses are, apart from the tower options that we've got, are broad, green, campus-based areas of study and learning across about 10 different areas in Sydney. We have accommodation, reasonably priced accommodation as well. This is our Parramatta, our kind of HQ campus, if you like. We've got about 400 bedrooms here. The pricing is approximately between 200 and 250 Australian dollars a week. Very nice facility with a lot of support for students as well built in. So we do very well in terms of that. I might hand over to Fatima, my colleague based in Lahore, for a little bit of information on our entry requirements. Fatima, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gareth. Hello, everyone. It's important to learn about the entry requirements that leads you to apply with us. So for our foundation program that most probably suitable for all the O-level students, we have two different type of foundations with us. That one is 3-term and second one is 2-term. For our 3-term foundation program, we look students from the O-level background with 3 O-level passes. And for our 2-term programs, we look students with the 4 O-level passes. When it comes to the IB students, we need 2 subject passes for the 3-term foundation program and the 3 subject passes for the 2-term programs. There are intermediate requirements as well. We need pass from the intermediate students for our 3-term foundation program and 55% for the 2-term. We have diploma programs suitable for all the students who have slightly lesser grades in their AS level. We need 4 points from 2A level for the 3-term diploma and the 5 points from the 2A level program for the 2 terms. Then for the IB students, we require 22 points for the 3-term diploma and 23 points for the 2-term diploma. So these are the foundation and diploma requirements for all the O and A level students. For direct undergraduate program, we consider students with the A-level background, minimum 8 points from the 3 A-level subjects. For IB students, we need, you want to say something, Gary?
I was just going to add for our counselors listening today, 8 points is that basic level. That's, you know, a C and 2 Ds basically, or if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines, or 2 Cs and a D, which is quite low. Our basic level courses are like that. Of course, for psychology, for engineering, for things like medicine, of course, there's gradations up where you will need higher A-level scores. But yep, carry on, Fatima.
Yeah, so for undergraduate, 8 basic points as added. IB school for students, we need 24 points for the undergraduate. Then let's move on to the scholarships.
Just mention the English as well.
English.
Yep.
Yeah, we do need English test with 6.5 and 6 each band. But for the O and A level students, we might consider, you know, their English if they score C or D or B. So we might consider their as an English proficiency test. So scholarships. Okay, so we have 3 different types of scholarships. 3,000 Australian dollar multi-year scholarship for the total duration of the program. This is for undergraduate and postgraduate both. Then we have 6,000 multi-year scholarship, and then we have 50% multi-year scholarship, which is a vice chancellor scholarship for both our undergraduate and postgraduate courses. 3,000 Australian dollar multi-year scholarship applies to all the students who are eligible to get entry into our undergraduate programs. Move on to the next slide, Gareth, if we can. Yeah. So yeah, for 3,000 multi-year scholarship with GCA A-level student, we need 6 from A-level subjects And for 6,000, we need slightly higher grades, at least 11 points from the standard A-level subjects. So they are all eligible for the 6,000 multi-year scholarship. For the IB students, we need 26 points for the 3,000 multi-year scholarship, and we need 28, which is a slight higher points for the 6,000 multi-year scholarship. As I mentioned that all students in 2023 will qualify for the automatic 3,000 multi-year scholarship. We do not require separate application. You do not need to submit any additional documents. You just need to apply with us for your admission, and our team will assess your eligibility as per your points. For the Vice Chancellor 50% scholarship undergraduate, we need a slight higher ATA hours, which is 16 minimum A-level points. That means 2 A stars and 1 A, and triple A as well. So that qualifies students to apply for our Vice Chancellor scholarship, which is 50%, and this is for the total duration of the program.
Yeah, thank you, Fatima. That's great. Yeah, and one thing to mention there, that Vice Chancellor scholarship, we have quite a large number of scholarships each year. So it's not just as if there's one or two, and we get Pakistani students each year qualifying for these. It's a fantastic, I guess, gift for the student, and particularly the parents as well, who will be paying only 50% of the tuition cost for these students, which is a great bonus, and deserving for the students who are getting those high A-grade A-levels. So what we do, we rank the students in order. We look at it quite regularly. So we take the applications that have come in, we will rank them accordingly, and we will be issuing offers out with the 50% scholarship built in to those students. Typically, they don't have to do much, but we do ask them for a piece of writing. So if they've been shortlisted for this scholarship, your students who are, high achieving A-level grade students will be able to just submit a short 250-word statement pertaining to why they are deserving of this particular scholarship. We have to have that incorporated in. So, but they will receive a notification from our scholarships team if they've been shortlisted, and we'll send that out. But realistically, as Fatima said, those students, those A-grade students that you have at your school, they will be in the hot seat for this particular scholarship if they apply for us. Thanks, Fatima. So look, just to finish off, everyone, questions I'm happy to answer, Fatima as well. But just to recap, we are popular because we're in Sydney, because we're a public institution with ranking, with professional accreditation that offers students study in a city where there's a wealth of economic opportunity and employment. We are reasonably priced, international scholarships, accommodation offerings, and broadly a university that is guiding and assisting students towards that ultimate goal of finding employment. Work integrated learning, internship, placements, these are central to the degrees we're offering. So I hope that kind of clarifies for you. I'm sorry that you've probably had to sit through quite a few of these slides today, but Western Sydney provides students with a great opportunity. I've left up on the screen here G.Lewis and F.Arif, which is our email. And thanks, Fatima, for popping that in the chat as well. So any questions you have would be great. Myself and some of my colleagues will be hopefully in Pakistan later in September. And if there's any opportunity to come and visit your school, talk to your A-level students, talk to you, the counselors again, we would welcome that opportunity. I travel over to Pakistan a good few times a year and look forward to the opportunity to meet. So that's the presentation from Western Sydney. And any questions, please fire them through.
Thank you so much, Gareth. Thank you so much, Fatma, for a very thorough session. And I'm sorry that you were lined up in the last slot. So any questions, anybody, please feel free to ask. You already have the email addresses of Fatma and Gareth, so you can always get in touch with them, later on. And Fatma and Gareth, we are very excited that Gareth and his colleagues will be coming in, hopefully, inshallah, in the later part of the year. And maybe we can visit some schools campuses of City School, inshallah. So any questions, anybody? Yes, please, Shaheen.
I had a question regarding this MBBS course. So any AMC examination or these kind of any extra sort of standardized tests would also be required for the MBBS course or not? And secondly, the admission cycle for, if I'm not wrong, was for MBBS or medical courses were mentioned March intake is there?
Yes,
or
correct.
Is there any other? Am I right? Okay, so the admission cycle is going to go only with one intake or no? Different intakes are there for different courses?
Yeah, we typically, good question, Shaheen, thank you for that. Yeah, MBBS, as we call it, Doctor of Medicine now, we changed the name recently, is March intake only, Shaheen. Students, we've actually, unfortunately, we've filled for next March already, as I understand from my admissions colleagues. However, students will be able to apply, and typically we'd be taking applications at any time during the year. If they've got AS grades that show strong indicators for A-level success at A-star levels, we can accept those in a sort of provisional way. Students need to have their A-level grades. So as we said, 2 A-stars and an A for medicine. Apart from that, they will need IELTS 7s across the board. We do insist on a specific IELTS test there, 7 times 4. And the other thing is ISAT. So it's done from the ASA website and is accessible on that. There are exams available, I think, in most countries, and I'm sure in Pakistan as well. It's the ISAT test, ISAT. That is the particular scholastic aptitude test that we need students to undertake. And it's really those 3 ingredients: A-level grades, IELTS test, ISAT. And they can apply, you know, without some of those completed yet for provisional offer. But for students who are seeking medicine, next available intake would be after 23 in March 24. Most of our degree programs are in either March start or July start each year. We also have a November start for certain courses like business, ICT, computer science, that kind of thing in the November. But they are the intakes each year for most of our degrees. I hope that answers fairly clearly. But thank you for that question. Very good to have.
Thank you.
Great, Shaheen. I'm not sure if there's anyone else. Sabi's also listed her number on screen there. I think if we're all there, I'm happy to leave it there, and potentially next time we meet, I'll be in the room or at least at one of the schools across the network, and do look forward to the opportunity to talk to you some more. Yes. And hopefully meet your students. Admission's very straightforward at Western Sydney. It's all done on a...
You're more than welcome. Please do visit Quito campus, particularly.
Yeah.
I will be really happy to have you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, look forward at a certain point. So September's my next visit, hopefully. If my Vice Chancellor gives me the approval, I'm sure it will be fine. But always nice to visit Pakistan as well. And I know it's, apart from being a lovely country to visit, with great hospitality, the students I know that are coming through, particularly within the A-level programs, are fantastic. Really, really strong students, and we would be very keen to talk to them.
Thank you so much, Gareth. Thank you so much, and thank you, Fatma. I would really like to, just before we sign out, I'd like to thank all of you who were present to listen to this long virtual session. But I hope that all of us have been able to learn something from this. And I would like to, last but not the least, thank City School management, especially the career counseling team, to giving us this opportunity to talk to your counselors, and hope to see you face to face sometime very soon. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Sabi, for the informative session. I'm sure it was very helpful for all the counselors, and definitely we're looking forward to have you in September and your team. You can visit as many TCS schools as you can. So thank you, Ms. Sabi, for the session.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Waleed. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll be looking forward to having you in Quito City as well. as you
Inshallah.
came once before as well. Inshallah, inshallah. Thank you so
Inshallah.
much.
All the best. Allah Hafiz. And thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Allah
Thank
Hafiz.
you, everyone.
Bye-bye.